Hello. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Drogs from Fully Painted Miniatures. I'm going to slide it over just a little bit. Still figuring out the camera angle. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay. Welcome to the channel. I'm doing a solo playthrough of Aeons End 2nd Edition, playing Expert Mode, going up against Prince of Gluttons. This is going to be my 6th attempt? 7th attempt? Something like that. He's pretty tough. Seem to kind of have the same problem with him. I've changed up the store and the mages a few times. But he just, I seem to handle health on my mages pretty well. Gravehold reasonably well. Usually he eats all the cards, which is what his special ability is. When he unleashes, he eats 3 cards, or up to 3 cards, 1 to 3. So you either let him eat 3 cards, or you let him damage Gravehold. The time I let him damage Gravehold every time, I did lose by damage to Gravehold. So that might be an option, is to go with focusing orbs, and then heal Gravehold, and then keep him. You know what? Let's just do that. I was going to use flexing daggers. Let's get rid of those, and let's bring in focusing orbs. It's actually going to change up my deck in here just a little bit for his starting Devour deck. Why not? So the idea is there, I can get a little bit of an ability to heal Gravehold using the focus orbs, so I don't see any reason why I can't just let him just eat 1 at a time. And being able to tank more damage on the players and on Gravehold usually allows you to prevent him from devouring more cards. So that is one way to mitigate that. So that's what we're going to try in this game. I changed up the mages, I changed up the store. So we're still using Zaxos, who I used last time. His special ability allows you to take the turn order cards and reorganize them in any order you want, and put them right back. It also grants 4 charges for his ally. Lash's ability allows you to take any turn order card that's out there and shuffle it back into the deck, but then you have to shuffle the deck. So the idea is I'm going to have a player turn during an activation, use Lash's ability to take that activation card, put it back in there and shuffle. Then use Zaxos' ability to reorganize that exactly in the order that I want. And restoring 4 more charges to Lash so that he can do it again on his next turn. So that's kind of going to be the idea, kind of like an infinite turn thing. Because once you get to those tier 3 cards, I think my record in 6 games is 3 tier 3 cards I've been able to reveal before he's devoured everything and destroyed Gravehold. Yeah, so Lash's special ability allows you to take any card, shuffle it back into a turn order card, shuffle it back into the turn order deck. That player then suffers 1 damage. Zaxos gives his ally 4 charges and allows you to take the turn order deck and reorganize it how you see fit. Zaxos' special card is Flare. It reveals the top card of the turn order deck. If it is a player card, it deals 3 damage. Lash's special ability also reveals the top card of the turn order deck. You may place that card on the bottom if you choose. Basically, if it's a player card, he generates 2 power instead of 1. And if it's a Nemesis card, he gets put on the bottom. And as for our store, we have taken the 2-cost gem Jade that generates 2 power. Mana, I guess it would be. I don't know. I don't know what the word is. I've been calling it power this whole time. 3-cost Firstwood Amber generates 2 power. When you purchase it, you may place it on your deck, top of your deck, instead of the bottom of your discard pile. Ether. Ether is what that's called. Okay. That's kind of a dumb name, but I'll go with it. All right, and then we took the 5-cost gem Burning Opal, gain 3 Aether. You may discard a card in your hand. If you do, an ally draws a card. So a big difference between this store setup and what I've been playing with previously is I have nothing that allows me to destroy cards. where usually that's like a premium. That's a thing I really go for, curating that and getting really small decks. So I get those good cards over and over and over again. I'm not going that route this time. We're going to see what it is. But I do have 3 cards in here that benefit from card discards. It may not be the best mage setup for this type of store. You probably want like Mist that lets you draw more cards, but we're going to try it and see how it goes. So this will allow one player to draw a card, so another can, one to discard, so another can draw. Then we're taking Focusing Orb, allows me to focus my breaches, any breach, or destroy to gain life to Gravehold. I also take Mage's Talisman, because I think these are basically required. Gives both mages a charge every time it's used. Amplify Vision is a 4-cost spell that deals 2 damage. It also focus your breach with the lowest focus cost, and if all your breaches are open, it does 3. Ignite is a 4-cost spell, does 2 damage, and generates a charge for your ally. And then the 2 new spells for this game are going to be Essence Theft, deals 3 damage. You may discard a card to gain 1 life. It's a pretty nice spell. 3 damage is solid. It's not bad, especially if in the 3rd or 4th breach it upgrades to 4. It does decently throughout the game. And then Darkfire, it's the lowest cost, highest damage spell. Cost 5. You can discard up to 2 cards in your hand to do 3 damage for each card discarded this way. So that can go up to 7 in a 3rd or 4th breach if you discard 2 cards. All right, and the Devour pile. On top are going to be 3 Amplify Visions, 2 Ignites, 2 Vrisswoods, 2 Focusing Orbs, and then 1 of each gem. So I'm going to try to buy pretty much exclusively from there. Except for an Essence Theft and a Darkfire, hopefully early. And Mage's Talismans. Alright, let's see how we do. I'm going to start with Zaxos. He starts with a Flare. He's going to prep that and 4 power. And he's going to buy an Amplify Vision. His next turn is going to be 4 Crystals and a Spark. Lash goes next. He generates 3 4 power. Yep, 4 power. Nemesis card is going to go on the bottom. And he preps a Spark, and he's going to buy an Amplify Vision. His next turn is going to be 3 Crystals with 2 Sparks. He does get to go again. He's going to cast Spark, dealing 1 damage to the Prince of Gluttons. He's then going to pay 3 to open his 2nd breach and prep both Sparks. Three Crystals, Quartz Shard, Amplify Vision. We get the Nemesis. Alright, Bleed Static. Power 3. The player with the most prep spells suffers 2 damage for each of their prep spells. So that takes 3 more activations, so that'll be the end of the 2nd round. That will come into effect. We then get Zaxos' 2nd turn, Flare. So I reveal the top card. It's a Nemesis card. So Flare does 1 damage, bringing Prince of Gluttons to 68. He then preps Spark, and then spends 4, and buys another Amplify Vision. His next turn, 4 Crystals and Amplify Vision. Nemesis card, we're going to take a token off the Bleed Static and draw a card. Lobotomize. Any player suffers 3 damage or devour any spell from any supply pile. I will have Lash take the 3 damage, bringing him to 7. I don't know if you guys play miniatures, but paint miniatures rather. But I do. And I just got my Kickstarter box, 20 minutes ago for Dungeons and Layers Deuce Layer 5. So Dungeons and Layers is 5, I believe, yeah. I didn't get the full thing, but I got the core set, all the stretch goals, and I got 1 add-on for armies that gave me like some ogres and stuff. It's pretty cool, man. I just popped open one of the boxes and was looking at the sprues. It's a big box. I think the package said 12 pounds, and I popped it open. There's no books in there. There's no paperwork. There's no plastic shells or anything like that. It's just a couple cardboard boxes filled to the brim with sprues. That's all it is. It's like, I think I got something like 300 miniatures. I think I counted out a while back. So very excited to, I don't play, it comes with like a D&D campaign, or, I don't play D&D, but I'm excited just to have like a bunch of generic miniatures I can use for different agnostic games. I really want to get into like Frostgrave, but I don't have the setup for it right now. I don't have any terrain at all either. I have to build all that stuff. All right, so it is Lash. We're going to cast 2 sparks, dealing 2 damage to Prince of Gluttons, bringing him to 66. We are going to prep Amplify Vision, and then we're going to reveal the top card. It is another 1. So Court Shard generates 2 power. Because he generates 2 power, we're going to buy a Dark Fire. That gives Lash the ability to do 6 damage very early in the game. His next turn, 3 crystals, 2 sparks. And it is his turn next. We're going to cast Amplify Vision. That's going to do 2 damage, dropping Prince of Gluttons to 64. It's also going to focus the 3rd breach. We will then prep 2 sparks, and he only has 3 power remaining, so that's not good enough to buy the Ignite. So I did, I guess, screw up that part of setting up the store. But we will just buy this Firstwood here. Put that on top of the deck. Still not a bad turn. And we get Vrisswood, Darkfire, Court Star, Shaft, Spark, and Crystal. So that should be decent little next turn. Nemesis going next, so Bleed Stack's coming off. I probably don't want to prep anything for him next turn. It's going to activate. I forgot about Bleed Static. So he's going to end up taking 4 damage from that. So that's unfortunate. Slaughter, Unleash, Gravehold suffers 3 damage. So the Unleash is going to devour 3 Jades. 2, 3. And then 3 damage to Graveholds brings us to 27. We do get Zaxos. He's going to cast Spark, dealing 1 damage. Bringing Prince of Gluttons to 63. So I'm going to prep Amplify Vision, and he has 4 power, and he's going to buy 2 Jades. His next turn, Flare, Amplify Vision, 3 crystals. He gets to go again. He's going to cast Amplify Vision, which will focus his 2nd breach. Man, why does that start so hard for him to open? It's too bad. He's actually going to prep then Amplify Vision and Flare, so that'll allow him to take the 4 damage instead of Lash, which is a good thing. And then he generates 3 power, and he will buy this Firstwood. So that helps me out a little bit. Still take 4 damage, but at least it's not on Lash. You already took the 3 earlier. And his next turn will be a Vrisswood, 2 Jades, a Crystal, and a Spark. So that's 7 power pretty early. All right, Nemesis is going to go. We're going to cast Bleed Static. That's going to hit Zaxos, dealing 4 damage, dropping him from 10 to 6. And then we draw a card. Devour 2 cards from the 2nd most expensive gem supply pile, and any player suffers 2 damage. All right, so that is Vrisswoods. Get eaten up. And Lash is going to take the 2 damage. So we're down to 5 and 6. So that's not great. Like, it feels bad when that happens. But there really aren't a lot of things in the Prince of Gluttons setup to do damage directly to players. Obviously, some of that's going to depend on which cards you get in the basic cards. Tier 3 cards don't change. I mean, they do by order, but second tier stay mostly the same. But the first ones change quite a bit because you only take 3 out of 7 of the basic cards each game. So those can change up quite a bit on you. So, but usually unless you, I don't think any of the Prince of Gluttons cards themselves directly damage the player. They're mostly creatures. And the creatures don't directly damage the players usually. Anyway. Okay, Nemesis is going to go. There's nothing on the board. And we get creature, Haze Spewer. 5 life, persistent Gravehold, suffers damage equal to this minion's current life, then suffers 1 damage. He can be really dangerous if he gets to go twice in a row. Alright, so we're getting Lash. We're going to cast both Sparks, dealing 2 damage to the Haze Spewer, bringing him to 3. We then get to prep both Spark and Dark Fire. And then the Quartz Shard allows us to reveal the top card, Nemesis. And we're going to put that on the bottom. Since the first Nemesis turn already happened, there's no risk there. And that's 1, 2, 4 power. And we'll buy Vrisswood, that's fine. His next turn will be a Vrisswood, 3 crystals, and an Amplify Vision. And he does get to go again. So we will cast Dark Fire. No. We will not. We will cast Spark for 1, 2 Haze Spear. Dark Fire is going to discard 2 crystals and do 6 damage to Prince of Gluttons, dropping him to 57. Very happy about that. We will prep Amplify Vision, and then he generates 3 power, and he will buy the last Vrisswood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next turn, Vrisswood, 2 crystals, 2 sparks. And we get Zaxos. He's going to cast Amplify Vision, which does 2 damage, and kill the Haze Spewer. And that's going to focus this second breach yet again. And he's also going to cast Flare, which gets upgraded from 1 to 3 damage. Bring Gluttons to 54. And we're going to prep Spark, and he generates 7 power. So he's going to buy this Jade and this Ignite. His next turn, 4 crystals, Amplify Vision. And he gets to go again. We're going to cast Spark for 1. Bring him to 53. Prep Amplify Vision. And he generates 4. And he's going to buy this Ignite. His next turn, Flare, Amplify Vision, and 3 crystals. And we get the Nemesis. Doors open, Raina. You can go out. And we get the Thought Biter. It's a 6 life minion. This one does do 2 damage to players, or devour a relic from the least expensive supply pile. So that'd be Focusing Orbs. It would devour 2 relics, or players suffer 2 damage. I wouldn't mind it devouring Focusing Orbs just because I kind of want to buy those, like, right now. And that would be the only way for him to devour them. Like he wouldn't do it with a... So I might let him devour the focus orb once, and then afterwards I would tank the damage, probably. Something like that. There are also focusing orbs in that deck. I'm just kind of... I haven't quite gotten to them yet. Alright, but we do get Amplify Vision with Zaxos. Focus there. That does 2 damage. Bring the Thought Biter to 4. I will then prep Amplify Vision and Flare, and he will buy a Vrisswood. Goes on top of his deck due to its special ability. And his next turn, 2 Vrisswoods, 2 Jades, and Ignite. So that's 8 power right there. And we get Lash. So he's going to cast Amplify Vision, do 2 damage to the Thought Biter, bring him to 2. It also focuses his 3rd Breach. He's going to prep 2 Sparks, and he generates 4 power, and he's going to buy that Vrisswood. I'm very happy so far. This feels easy. This feels very controlled. I feel like I'm in charge right now. Spark, 2 Vrisswoods, Quartz Shard Crystal. I don't have any charge generation yet, but I do got my first Ignite coming up. I did buy 2 of those, I believe. So that's something. Their economies are starting to get pretty good. And they have Amplify Vision and Dark Fire. You know, I want to grab an essence stuff for each of them to start healing processes. But I feel pretty good overall. Alright, so Thought Biter is going to eat 2 Focusing Orbs. And then we draw a card. Cauterizer. It's a minion with 3 life. All damage dealt to this minion is reduced to 1. So you have to attack it 3 times. And each time he activates, he does damage to a player equal to his life, current life. So that would be 3 currently. So we're going to start with Zaxos. So he has Amplify Vision. He's going to cast that. It's going to open this 2nd Breach finally. And it's going to do 2 damage, killing the Thought Biter. And then Flare is going to do 1 damage. Actually, it doesn't matter if it did 1 or 3. Either way, it gets reduced to 1 to the Cauterizer. And I'm going to prep Ignite, and I have 8 power. And he's going to buy 2 Focusing Orbs. It's okay, little ones. Yeah. You always want attention when I'm shooting a video. I know. Life is so hard. My dogs are adorable. Yeah, I'm talking about you guys. You're adorable. Yes, you are. Well, let me see. Do you have water? Yeah, you have water. Is the door open? Yeah, the door's open. You can go outside. Come on. Come on. It's okay. It's okay. Go on. Go on outside. Yeah. Everything's okay. Daddy's shooting a video. They're basically my children. Alright. Where was I? So I finished Zaxos' turn. Ow, that hurts. No, down. Sorry, she just pawed me pretty hard. Ah! What are you doing? Huh? You're messing up my video. You're messing up my video, you guys. No. Guys, I need you to lay down. Alright, so his next turn, he's going to have a Jade, 2 crystals, an Ignite, and a Spark. So that's pretty good. So we're going to start generating some charges. Alright, Cauterizer does 2 damage. We're going to deal that to Lash, brings him to 3. And then we draw a card, Seraphage. 7 life minion, devours cards equal to this minion's life. Then this minion suffers 2 damage. This is another one that can be really dangerous if you don't get some turns in on them. All right, we get Lash first, but I'm going to use both Sparks to kill the Cauterizer. That will then prep Spark, and then we generate 4, 5, 6 power, and then it depends on what the top of the turn order card is. Yeah, my boy is I have 2 dogs, a boy and a girl. The boy is super, super, super well behaved. The girl is not as much. But he's like 3.5, and she's just turned 1.5. So we're still working with. Most of the time she's really good, but every once in a while she'll just kind of be difficult. Want to be the center of all attention. So still working with her on that, but she's still a puppy, you know? She's still a puppy. Not everything I've been teaching her has sunk in yet. Okay, and we get Lash. He's going to cast, or I'm sorry, Zaxos. We're going to cast Ignite. That's going to deal 2 damage to the Seraphage and generate the first charge of the game for Lash. We're then going to prep. I'm going to start holding these up to the camera better. Ignite and Spark, and generates 4 power, buying another Focus Orb. He needs the Focus Orbs a lot more than Lash does anyway, but you can use them on either player. That's one of the big advantages of a Focus Orb over Flexing Dagger. 4 crystals and amplify damage. So we're back at the start of the deck. All right, Nemesis does get to go. So Seraphage does have 5 life, so he's going to devour 5 cards. I get to pick, though. From one, it has to be a single supply pile, but I do get to pick which one. I'm going to pick the Mage's Talismans. Yeah. If I want these, but if I don't get them, that's fine. But I'll go all in on these. You cannot have too many Mage's Talismans. It's not possible. It's just not a thing. Oh, and we draw a card. Mind Guzzler. Set this minion's life to 8 plus the number of empty supply piles, and he unleashes every turn. He's going to have 10 life to start. All right. We do get Zaxos. He's going to cast Ignite and Spark. Oh, and Seraphage took 2 damage after that activation. I forgot. So Zaxos is going to cast Ignite Spark, which does 3 damage, and he's going to kill the Seraphage. Very nice. That also generates a second charge for Lash. He's going to prep Amplify Vision, and he then has 4 power. Not enough for Mage's Talisman, unfortunately. I'm going to buy this last Focusing Orb. His next turn, Amplify Vision, Flare, Focusing Orb, and 2 crystals. Okay, we do get Lash. He's going to cast Spark, 1 damage. To the Mind Guzzler, bring him to 9. No, I have 4 cards. All right, just do. This is from his last turn, wasn't it? I never discarded these. prep Darkfire, and he generates 5 power, Mage's Shard. Now, you could say I'm making a small mistake here, because by putting all those Mage's Talismans there, I'm really focusing my players on, like, they're going to both push to just buy all those 5 Mage's Talismans. And the mistake there is that I should be buying Darkfires and Essence stuffs to get my damage really going. But I want my special abilities up now. Once I get those up, then I'm going to switch over to there. So you could make the argument that I should be going Essence Stuff, Darkfire now, Mage's Talismans later, but I love my Mage's Talismans, what can I say? And they're just going to have to get by with the spells that they have for right now, which aren't super high damage, but they are pretty good. All right. Oh yeah, second turn. So we are going to cast Darkfire. We are going to discard 2 crystals along with it, and that's going to do 6 damage to the Mind Guzzler, bringing in the 3. We'll prep Amplify Vision and Spark. In this Verswood Amber, do I want to buy a Charge or Jade? He'll buy a Jade. His next turn, 2 Sparks, 2 Verswoods, and a Crystal. And Nemesis goes next, so we're going to Unleash. That means Nemesis is going to eat 2 Jades, and then do 2 damage to Gravehold, dropping it to 25. Not bad. Totally manageable. And then we get a new creature, Venomite, 9 life. Player with the lowest life suffers 2 damage, or player can discard a card, a cost of 3 Aether or more. Manageable. That Darkfire came at just the right time, so I should be able to take out the Mind Guzzler. Maybe the Venomite next round. Probably not. The Venomite's going to activate, but at least get rid of the Mind Guzzler. I did do good damage to the Prince of Gluttons early. He's been pulling out a lot of minions to kind of shield him. So I haven't done too much to him lately. Pretty happy. I got a lot of cards I wanted. I still have a lot of cards I don't want. So I'm not used to playing with such large decks. I don't have any Burning Opals. I don't have any Essence Stuffs. I only have 1 Darkfire between the 2 of them. So that was a big part of my strategy, was using those 3 cards as discards. And that's not really working out yet. We'll see. I've had great turn order luck in this game. The Amplify Vision and Spark are both going to go off, and that's going to do 3 damage and kill the Mind Guzzler. Also focuses 3rd Breach. We're going to prep 2 Sparks, generate 5 power, and buy 2 Jades. Next turn, Mage's Talisman, Quartz Shard, Verswood, and 2 crystals. And we get Zaxos. He's going to cast Amplify Vision, 2 damage to the Venomite, bringing it to 7. And that focuses the 3rd Breach. We're going to prep Amplify Vision and Flare. Focusing Orb, focus the 3rd Breach. And with 2, he's just going to buy a Charge for special ability. His next turn, Focusing Orb, 2 Verswoods, 2 Jades. Nemesis goes next. So I can take 2 damage, which I don't want to do. I'm going to just discard the Amplify damage, which cancels out the Venomite's attack. And then we get another creature, God Feeders. Gravehold suffers 3 damage, Devoured Gem from the most expensive supply pile. So that would be the Burning Opal. It does both, by the way. damages Gravehold and devours a gem on every activation. And, ooh, double activation. Okay. That hurts a bit. That drops Lash from 3 life to 1. From the Venomite's attack, Godfeeders is going to do 3 damage to Gravehold and devour a Burning Opal. And then we draw a card. And the Needle Maw. 11 life, Gravehold does 2 damage per activation. So that, remember I said I thought I could be making a mistake here? Well, apparently I was. That's a lot of creatures. 7 life, 8 life, 11, 26 life on the table. I have 3 damage prepped and none in my hands. So, I don't really have a way to get rid of those guys right now. We're going to cast 2 Sparks. Deal 2 damage. We're going to cast Mage's Talisman. Generate a charge for each mage. And then I get 2, 4, 5, 6 power. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to buy charges. I don't see how else to get around this. I need the essence stuff too, but I need a couple extra turns here. So I'm gonna pay for 4 for 2. I'm gonna activate her special ability and his special ability, excuse me, and shuffle this 2 card back into the deck. This costs Zaxos 1 life. And then generate a single charge as well. 2, 3, 4. Next turn, 3 crystals, Jade and a Dark Fire. Yep. And we get Zaxos. We're going to cast Flare. It's going to do 3 damage to the Venomite, dropping him to 2. We're then going to use the Focusing Orb to focus the 3rd breach. And he generates 8 power. Now, his special ability. Interesting. Well, I could use it to effectively give him another turn, but what does that really do? Right? I spend 8, use his ability. That charges up Lash's ability. And then I use Lash's ability, he uses another life, and he just gets another turn. But it basically just makes it his turn again. I'm going to buy an Essence Theft and a charge. For 8. His next turn, Ignite, Focusing Orb, Jade, 2 crystals. This is his turn again. Prep Ignite. Actually, we open his 3rd breach with the Focusing Orb. So I'm going to prep the Ignite here. And now he generates 4 power, and I'm going to buy 2 charges. This way I can use it at the beginning of the next round. His next turn. Ignite, Spark, Focusing Orb, 2 crystals. Come on, infinite turn. I can't use it on Lash though because he only has 1 life. Lash's special ability on himself. I can only use it on Zaxos right now. I really need to get those essence stuffs in there. So that was kind of oversight. 5 costs is hard. I wasn't able to get up to one of them. Not what I wanted. Venomite is going to kill Lash. Or exhaust Lash, sorry. Give him 0 life. Destroys his lowest breach. He loses this charge. And Prince of Gluttons unleashes twice. So he's going to eat 2 Amplify Visions. And do 2 damage to Gravehold. And then 3 Ignites. Then Godfeeders does 3 damage to Gravehold. I don't think I'm winning this one. And devours a Burning Opal. And Needle Maw does 2 damage to Gravehold, bringing us to 15. Then we draw a card. Unleash twice. The player with the most prep spells discards their most expensive prep spell. Ignite is the only thing we have prepped. And 2 more unleashes. So we're going to eat 3 Burning Opals and 3 Essence Thefts. So at least we're getting those Essence Thefts on top of that Devour pile. Here's the problem. That's 1 Devour plus 4 damage to Gravehold. That's a Devour plus 4 damage to Gravehold. This is a Devour, and this is game end. So 4 Devours finish the game. Or 4 Unleashes. Okay, Lash gets to go. Prep Dark Fire. Generates 5 power. Essence stuffed. But with a deck this fat, will I even see it? I don't know. Amplify Vision, Spark, Wristwood, 2 Jades. I feel like I'm getting worse at this game. Alright. We're going to cast Dark Fire with a Spark and a Jade, dealing 6 damage to Godfeeders. Bringing me 2. Prep Amplify Vision. Generates 4 power for 2 charges. Oh. Before I do that, I can activate Metaphysical Link, which gives me 4 charges. I forgot I can do that during either turn. And then I get to take the turn order deck. It's fine, 2/2. And reveal it in any order. Now I will buy a charge. But I won't. I'll waste the other 2, I guess. Yeah, I can't do anything with the other 2. That's fine. I Cern, Wristwood, 2 crystals, and 2 sparks. And we get Zaxos next. So we're going to prep Ignite and Spark. Focus Orb is going to go here and open up Lash's 3rd breach. And then he will buy a charge. He will also activate Quicken Thought. Pay 1 life. Take his own card. Push that back in there. Oh, and that uses up all of Lash's charges. And I just misplayed that really bad. I need that extra spell damage. Gotta keep those creatures at bay. Okay, it is Zaxos' turn again. He's got an Ignite and a Spark. Oh, I misplayed those. Okay, so we're going to kill the Venomite for 3 and do 1 damage to the Godfeeder. I could have killed both if I just flipped the order of these. That does, however, generate a charge for Lash. And we're going to use the focusing orb on the 4th breach. Prep Amplify Vision, and with 3 power, I will generate another charge. And next turn, Flare, Essence Theft, Amplify Damage, Focusing Orb, and a Crystal. And Nemesis gets to go. God Feeders is going to do 3 damage to Gravehold and Devour the last burning opal. And then Needlemaw does 2 damage to Gravehold, bringing us to 10, and they draw a card. Unleash twice. Any player suffers 2 damage. So Zaxos takes the 2 damage, bring him the 2. And the double Unleash, we're going to get 3 Dark Fires, and then the Essence Theft. And then another 4 damage to Gravehold, bringing us to 6. So the next time Prince of Gluttons unleashes is game over. And he's still sitting at 53 life. I haven't done a point of damage to him for since like the 3rd round. All right. Zaxos goes next. Amplify damage is going to do 3 damage, killing the God Feeders. Focuses the 4th breach, though. So that's nice. And then we're going to prep Amplify Vision, Essence Theft, and Flare. And Focusing Orb, is going to open that 4th breach. So that is good. And then the last crystal is just wasted. So next turn, Focusing Orb and Aether. So I didn't play this super well, but like, I mean, that's potentially 4 damage. That is 4 damage. That is 3 damage. So that's at least a decent on deck. Yeah. If I could get some more Essence Thefts, heal up Zaxos, wouldn't be the end of the world. Could I still make it out of this? I don't know. I could definitely heal Gravehold. I have 4 Focusing Orbs. That if I get them all, I could heal 12 points to Gravehold. So that would be something. If I can get rid of that Needlemaw, start healing up Gravehold, start healing up Zaxos, and I can get these abilities charged up there. It's not out of the question that I could win. But I don't think it's very likely at this point because he's too deep into the Nemesis deck, and he's gonna pull one of those cards that just like does 10 damage to a player or something. I don't know. I'm too late in the game. Amplify Vision is gonna do 2 damage. Bring Needlemaw to 9. Focuses 4th breach. We'll prep 2 sparks, and he generates 5 power. Am I being stupid? Yeah, I'm being stupid. Chargers. I can't afford to buy spells at this point. The decks are too big. Alright. Mage's Talisman, Quartz Shard, first with 2 crystals. And we do get Zaxos. This is good. So we're going to cast Flare first. It only does 1, so it gets downgraded. It still gets 2 damage off on the Needlemaw. Essence Theft is going to do 4. And I'm going to discard this Jade to give myself 1 life point. And Amplify Vision is going to do 3 because all my breaches are open. So that will kill the Needlemaw. That is good. That's good news. I will destroy the Focusing Orb. Well, I could open Lash's last breach. That's another option. Yeah, I'll open the breach. Fine. And then I generate 6 power, which is enough to charge my special ability. Yeah, sure. I will use it. This gives 2 charges to Lash. I will then use it again. And take this. I gotta shuffle those still. Don't worry. I haven't forgotten. So this is kind of, it's a Hail Mary pass. But really and I can only use it one more time. With my current life. But if I can get enough essence stuffs up to keep Lash's special ability up and just keep giving Zaxos turns. Maybe there's enough firepower in there somewhere to bring down Prince of Gluttons, but I don't see it. He doesn't have any dark fires. He only has, a couple to like maybe 1 or 2 essence stuffs. Which will do 4 damage. Everything else will do 3. Well, he does have 3 amplified visions. Those will do 4 in the 3rd region. So, yeah. But I mean, he can maybe do 10 damage a turn. So just maybe, if I can survive a little bit longer, heal up Gravehold. Hail Mary, like I said, 5%, 10% chance. Nemesis next. All players place their discard. Any player. Yeah, no. So this is an Unleash Twice card. You take your discard, shuffle it into your deck, shuffle your deck, destroy your top 4 cards, and then you unleash twice. I can't survive that. A single unleash ends the game. So, boom, I lost the game. Yeah, that was less than a 5% chance. Anyway, I don't know. I liked how I started. I kind of got the cards I wanted for the most part. I just didn't get enough damage going. I think anytime I get 5 power, I need to buy those Dark Fires. I really need to buy those Dark Fires. Or the Essence stuffs. I don't know. Did I just misplay this, guys? What do you think? Should I keep it the same and just try again? Or do I need to mix it up again? I feel like I just played a really bad game. And I didn't handle that transition from the early game to the mid game very well. And I had good damage for early game. And I just coasted on that. And instead of continuing to upgrade my damage potential, I was just upgrading a lot of other things. I hate having Dex this fat. It really screws up how my turn order and everything. It just doesn't really work. It helps in the early game to not have to destroy cards and discard cards and all that. I don't know. Maybe I'll just swap in Bottle Vortex for the Focusing Orb. Because I didn't actually need it. Maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah. I'll just swap out that one. We'll swap in Focusing Orb. No. I don't see the point of that. I never really go for the more expensive gems have never worked out for me either. even. Yeah. I think I'm going to swap out the Sifter's Pearl as well. And we'll give that a try for the next game. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoy yourselves. I'm going to take a break for a little bit. I don't think my brain is functioning properly for this right now. But anyway, I hope you guys had fun watching, and yeah, have a great day. Bye, guys.